In early October 2025, Washington, D.C. stood on edge. The U.S. Congress had failed once again to pass a federal budget, leading to a partial government shutdown, a moment that froze not only political offices but also began to shake the nation's travel industry. The shutdown began when lawmakers in the House of Representatives and the Senate couldn't agree on funding bills. The major disputes centered around spending cuts, immigration, border security, and defense allocations. As a result, thousands of non-essential federal workers were told not to report to work. But the shutdown's ripple effects soon reached the airports. At first, passengers noticed little difference. Planes were still taking off. Pilots were still flying. TSA officers still checked IDs. But behind the scenes, cracks began to show. Because of the shutdown, new air traffic controller training was halted, and overtime pay for many controllers was suspended. Staffing levels began to thin, and fatigue grew among those who remained on duty. The Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, had to delay safety certifications and postpone investigations into mechanical failures and runway incidents. At major hubs like Atlanta, Chicago, and Dallas, flight delays slowly increased. "We are doing the work of 2 people," said one anonymous air traffic controller. "And everyone's just trying not to make a mistake." Airlines, though privately run, depend heavily on government support, air traffic control, security screening, weather monitoring, and federal safety inspectors. With those systems under strain, airline executives warned of looming trouble. The International Air Transport Association, IATA, urged Congress to restore funding, warning that the stability of the U.S. aviation system is at risk. Meanwhile, passengers faced long lines, delayed flights, and sudden cancellations. Some regional airports, lacking enough TSA staff, were forced to close terminals early or cut down flight operations. Inside the White House, pressure built. Economists warned that a prolonged shutdown could cost billions in lost travel, revenue, and damage America's reputation as the most reliable air network in the world. After weeks of standoff, both political parties finally reached a temporary funding deal, reopening the government. But the damage had been done, morale was low, air traffic delays had doubled, and trust between the government and the aviation industry had thinned, like a vapor trail in the sky. As one exhausted pilot put it, watching the sunrise over a crowded tarmac. "The planes will always fly. It's the people on the ground who hold them in the air." But as America's skies grew busy again, one question lingered in the air. What happens next time, when politics once again threatens to ground the nation? And if the people who hold the skies together ever stop believing in the system, who will keep America flying then? The new restrictions that followed the shutdown, tighter budget rules, hiring freezes, and reduced safety funding only made recovery harder. Experts warn that these measures could cripple the aviation system's resilience, leaving airlines more vulnerable to delays, maintenance issues, and safety lapses. What was meant to control spending has now cost the industry billions, slowed innovation, and placed the very trust of passengers on the line. The sky may look calm again, but beneath it, the storm still hasn't cleared.